Hello, my friend. Join us and stay tuned for more unbelievable tales each day. Welcome to Secrets and Lies, where every twist and turn reveals a new tale waiting to be uncovered. As the dawn broke, the sun started to brush the sky with soft shades of pink and gold. I found myself kneeling in the garden, fingers immersed in the cool soil, carefully placing seeds for the upcoming spring. Rex, our steadfast German shepherd, thumped his tail beside me, his presence a reassuring constant in our familiar routine. Yet as I gazed upward, the sound of tires crunching on our gravel driveway broke the peacefulness of the morning. Brian arrived home earlier than usual, his expression marked by a tension that was unfamiliar to me. He drew near, each step weighted his eyes skirting around my own. Lisa, he called, his voice filled with a sense of urgency. It's time for a conversation. My heart raced with excitement. The seeds I had just planted appeared to pause in anticipation, eager for the unfolding of the future. What could ever shake the tranquility of our peaceful existence? In the year 1970, the atmosphere is heavy with the aroma of transformation. It's not merely the vibrant blossoms in my garden or the fumes from Brian's latest project car. There's an essence that resonates, a current flowing just below the routine of our daily existence. I'm Lisa, a 28-year-old homemaker who finds joy in nurturing my garden and creating a warm, inviting atmosphere in our small, cozy home. My husband Brian dedicates himself to his work as a mechanic and has a deep love for classic cars. Our life together unfolds in a straightforward manner woven with the familiar patterns of work, home, and the rare weekend escape. In our family, there's also Rex, our devoted and slightly cheeky German shepherd, who has been by our side since he was just a puppy. The morning lingers in my mind, not for its uniqueness, but for being the final moment of serenity before everything changed. As dawn broke, the sun started to rise, painting our backyard in warm golden hues. In the garden, I found myself immersed in the earth, my hands working diligently to place new seeds for the upcoming spring season. The ground was refreshing and vibrant beneath my touch, a vivid difference from the gentle heat of the sun as it began to rise. Rex stood beside me, his tail wagging in a steady beat that echoed the pulse of my heart. While I toiled away, my mind drifted to Brian. In the dim light of the garage, he toiled through the late hours, his hands marked by grease, his eyes weary yet filled with resolve. A new project had captured his imagination. A 1957 Chevy Bel Air. He returned home after dark, the scent of motor oil lingering on his clothes, and I would observe him from the kitchen window, his figure illuminated by the glow of the garage light. Our days unfolded in a familiar rhythm. Yet beneath the surface, there was an electric anticipation, a feeling that change was on the horizon. There was an unspoken connection, a silent understanding in the way Rex would glance at me, his eyes reflecting a depth of awareness that hinted at my increasing solitude. As Brian spent his nights away, I found myself in the quiet company of my own reflections, the weight of solitude and the nurturing embrace of my garden. That morning, as I knelt in the dirt, the sound of tires crunching on our gravel driveway reached my ears. Brian's return at this hour was quite the rarity. I rose to my feet, clearing the dirt from my knees, and observed him as he pulled into the spot, his actions quick and restless. He stepped out, and even from afar, the tension in his expression was unmistakable. Lisa, he called out, his voice laced with a sense of urgency and an unidentifiable emotion that lingered in the air. It's time for a conversation. My heart raced. The seeds I had just planted appeared to pause, anticipating the unfolding of events ahead. Brian drew near. Each step weighted his gaze averted from mine. I've been offered a job, he said, his words weaving through the air like the morning mist. Once upon a time in California, this is a significant chance, but it requires relocation. As if the very fabric of reality shifted just a touch, once upon a time in the sun-kissed land of California, adventures awaited at every turn. That was a journey to a distant land away from our quaint little town, our companions, and the life we knew. I glanced at Rex, who had positioned himself next to me, his ears alert, picking up on the change in the air around us. And what about our journey? I inquired softly, my voice barely rising above a whisper, my hands quaking with uncertainty. Brian reached out, his touch both tender and resolute on my shoulder. Join me on this journey, Lisa. Let's embark on a fresh journey side by side. The garden, once a sanctuary of peace, now seemed like a backdrop for a tale waiting to unfold, hinting at a twist in my journey. The seeds I had sown, the life we had crafted together, all felt like they were in a moment of stillness, anticipating the choice I would make. As I stood there, the gravity of his words enveloping me, I understood that the aroma of transformation was more than just a fleeting presence. It resonated through every essence of our being. What unexpected twist might shatter this serene existence? The revelation was unmistakable, and it was my choice to determine if this upheaval would lead to our downfall or the dawn of a fresh chapter. On a typical Saturday morning, the sun spills its golden light through the kitchen window, creating a cozy atmosphere. Brian is in the garage, immersed in his latest endeavor, a '57 Chevy Bel Air. It's that time again. Rex is due for his monthly bath. I've always found this ritual to be quite soothing as I gently cleanse away the dirt and grime from his fur as I fill the bathtub with warm water. Rex bounds in his tail, wagging with an energy that fills the room as I begin with his paws. I carefully work to remove the mud, gradually making my way up to his back and finally to his head. Rex, with his playful spirit, dances through the water, bringing joy and laughter to everyone around. The water dances against my shirt, seeping through to my skin, yet I find joy in the moment. It's experiences like these that awaken my spirit, linking me to something genuine and unadulterated. The bathroom door groans as it swings open, revealing Brian. His face marked with grease and a weary smile playing on his lips. He seeks assistance yet. I decline, relishing this solitary moment with Rex. But what unfolds when this whimsical soak takes an unforeseen twist? With boundless energy, Rex twirls and dances, splashing droplets of water throughout the space. I weave and twist. But fate has other plans, and I find myself soaked to the bone. Brian's laughter rings out, bouncing playfully off the tiled walls. "It seems you were in greater need of that bath than Rex," he jests, a playful glimmer dancing in his eyes. A smile spreads across my face, the weight of our previous discussion fading away for a brief moment. "Perhaps I did," I respond, brushing the droplets from my cheeks. Brian inches forward, his hands outstretched for a towel ready to weave a moment into memory. As he starts to dry my hair, his touch is soft and tender as if he's seeking forgiveness. "Apologies for what happened before," he whispers, his tone soft and subdued. "I didn't intend to catch you off guard like that." I gaze up at him, droplets cascading from my hair, forming a tiny pool at our feet. "I understand," I reply gently. "It's simply overwhelming to absorb." He nods, his expression now filled with gravity. "Lisa, my heart longs for us to be united regardless of the distance that may separate us. However, I completely respect your need for some time to reflect." The space seems to shrink, the atmosphere heavy with the warmth of the steam and the silence of our lingering thoughts. Rex, attuned to the change in atmosphere, remains still, his gaze shifting between us. Text. "I love you, Brian. I declare, my voice unwavering, even as chaos swirls within me, and I cherish our journey here." Yet, relocating to California is more than simply starting a new job. It's about transforming our entire understanding. Brian's hands linger on the towel, his gaze probing into mine. Embrace the transformation. View it as a journey filled with new experiences. Imagine embarking on a new adventure, discovering uncharted territories side by side. The notion of adventure ignites a spark within, a blend of thrill and trepidation dancing together. "And what about Rex's tale?" I inquire, casting a glance at our steadfast friend. "He'll join us, no doubt." Brian promises, gently placing his hand on Rex's head. "He belongs to our circle." Leaving behind our home, our friends, and the life we've cultivated here feels like turning my back on the very ground I've tended to with care. Yet the notion of a fresh chapter with Brian, with Rex, begins to gently take root in my heart. I require a moment to gather my thoughts. At last I speak, my choice still uncertain, but the beginnings of potential taking root. To ponder, to sense this journey, Brian nods, a glimmer of comprehension shining in his gaze. "Feel free to take as long as you wish. I'll be here tinkering with the Chevy, eager for your arrival." As he steps out of the bathroom, the door gently clicks shut behind him. I shift my focus back to Rex. Once upon a time, his fur gleamed with cleanliness, and his eyes sparkled with the delight of a refreshing bath. I keep washing him, my hands working in a steady rhythm, yet my thoughts drift to the pivotal moment we find ourselves in. As the water in the tub cools, every splash and scrub brings to mind the unfolding narrative of our future choices. The whimsical bath has certainly shifted in ways we didn't foresee, filled not only with splashes and giggles, but also with unspoken inquiries lingering in the air around us. What adventures await us if we decide to relocate? Is it possible for us to embark on a fresh journey, or will the burden of this choice linger in our hearts? As I complete my time with Rex enveloping him in a towel, it dawns on me that this moment, this small gesture of affection, could be one of the final instances of its kind within our home. The aroma of transformation, once merely a murmur, now envelops the space as powerful as the steam ascending from the bath. While I'm busy giving Rex a bath, an unusual event unfolds. With a burst of energy, Rex leaps up his paws, landing on my shoulders, and in his playful enthusiasm, he sends me teetering off balance. I sink into the tub water, cascading all around me. Amidst the chaos, Rex's excitement led to a clumsy moment, knocking me off balance and into the tub. It was embarrassing, but nothing more than a silly mishap. I shove him aside, but just as I do, Brian, who had gone out to fetch a towel, re-enters the room. His expression shifts from sheer terror to bewilderment, ultimately igniting a flame of fury. Lisa. What on earth? He exclaims, his voice bouncing off the tiled walls. I'm overwhelmed, attempting to share my thoughts. Yet the words escape me. The scene unfolds in a way that is undeniably strange, unmistakably peculiar, leaving no room for doubt about its true nature. Brian entered clearly confused by the unexpected chaos I tried to explain, assuring him it was just a goofy moment that got out of hand, and I'm left in the tub water, cascading around me, my heart pounding in my chest. The chill in the air wraps around me, the comforting embrace of the bath fading into the past. I leap from the tub towel clutched around me, my thoughts swirling as I try to make sense of the whirlwind of events that just unfolded. I discover Brian in the living room, facing away, his shoulders tight with unspoken thoughts. Brian, allow me to share my perspective. I begin, my voice quivering with anticipation. He spins on his heel, his gaze swirling with a tempest of feelings. What do you mean, Lisa? What reason could there be for that? His voice carries a quiet weight, yet the pain within it resonates deeply. It happened by chance. Brian Rex was caught up in the moment, his excitement overflowing, and in that whirlwind, I found myself losing my footing. It was a situation that defied appearances. I implore, my words tumbling over one another in my urgency to convey my message to him. Brian's eyes reveal a hint of tenderness, yet the bewilderment and hurt linger beneath the surface I've witnessed, the joyful antics of dogs at play. Lisa. That wasn't a game. That was not suitable. I draw nearer, my heart racing with anticipation. It may have seemed wild, but I promise you it was merely a fleeting instance of disorder. I could never. Well, you see, Rex is simply a dog, Brian. It was an error, a dreadful, regrettable error. He gazes into my eyes, seeking the essence of honesty. Within them, I'm with you, Lisa, yet it's more than merely the events that unfolded. It's all about the emotions that washed over me when I witnessed that. It's a matter of faith, and at this moment, I sense that I've been let down by the very essence of it. His words carry a heavy burden that weighs me down. I truly apologize, Brian. It was never my intention to cause you pain or make you question what we share. Shall we share our thoughts on this kindly? He nods slowly, his expressions deepening with warmth. It's time for a conversation indeed. Yet in this moment, it isn't the right place or time. How about we take a drive and let our minds wander? We venture into the garage, the air thick with the weight of unshared reflections. As Brian swings open the door of the Chevy, we settle into our seats, ready for the journey ahead. The engine bursts into action, its growl breaking the stillness that hangs heavy in the air as we journey along. The scenery transforms the well-known avenues of our quaint town, yielding to expansive highways. The car glides along the road, the engine's gentle hum creating a backdrop for Brian's thoughts to unfold, allowing him the freedom to reflect and make sense of it all. At last he utters words, his tone steady yet resolute. Lisa, my affection for you knows no bounds. Our journey together has been wonderful. Yet this event has left me feeling unsettled. It's important for me to ensure we're aligned, particularly regarding the transition to California. I gaze at him, the path before us, aglow with the light of the headlights. I hear you, Brian, and I'm eager to join you on this journey. Let's embark on a fresh journey, side by side. However, it's essential to restore that confidence so we can both feel at ease with the upcoming transformations. He extends his hand, finding mine and giving it a gentle squeeze. We'll navigate this journey side by side. However, we must embrace transparency and sincerity. All surprises are behind us now. The journey unfolds. The evening breeze whispers through the slightly ajar windows. We truly share our fears, our hopes, and the life we dream of in California. The event involving Rex serves as a turning point, a moment that compels us to face not only the initial surprise, but also the underlying dynamics of our connection. As we journey back, the weight of worry has lifted, giving way to a shared determination to embrace what lies ahead with all its unknowns. As we cross the threshold of our home, the aroma of transformation hangs in the air, intertwined with the hopeful whispers of mending and fresh starts. The following morning, I return to the garden, the earth beneath my fingertips evoking memories of the past while anchoring me for what lies ahead. Rex is right here with me, his tail wagging joyfully, returning to his familiar playful demeanor. As I gaze at him, emotions swirl within me, blending affection with a fresh perspective. Brian steps in beside me, his hands marked with grease from working on the Chevy, yet his gaze remains sharp and intent on me. As he settles beside me, he shares his thoughts, a spark of contemplation in his eyes. Perhaps we ought to consider bringing Rex to a trainer to assist him in understanding his limits. I acknowledge his attempt to transcend the event, feeling a sense of understanding in the air. That sounds like a wonderful notion, and perhaps we can begin weaving our plans for the move together. He beams a true smile, breaking through after the mishap in the bath. In that moment, his agreement resonates deeply, and I sense the unwavering connection we share, steadfast even amidst the unforeseen. The garden, our sanctuary, our existence here, all appear to pause, anticipating the unfolding of what lies ahead, with Brian by my side and Rex finding his footing. I feel prepared to welcome the transformation ahead, to dive into the journey that lies before us in California. The aroma of transformation now resonates with clarity. It's a journey of transformation, of fresh starts, and of a bond that can endure any challenge. In the stillness of the house, the only sound is the rhythmic drip of water echoing from the bathroom. As I sit on the edge of our bed, wrapped in a towel, my thoughts drift back to that moment, playing it over and over in my mind. Brian is still missing from our lives. His absence echoes loudly. I reach out for him, but my voice falters, swallowed by the weight of guilt and uncertainty. Suddenly, the sound of the front door slamming echoes through the air. My heart races with excitement. Brian comes back, his expression etched with determination. Without a glance in my direction, he starts to fill a bag with his belongings. "I need some space, Lisa," he says, his voice icy and distant. At this moment, I find it difficult to meet your gaze. I implore, attempting to convey that it was merely an accident, a miscommunication. Yet Brian's decision stands firm. The bond once unbreakable has shattered in the aftermath of this strange occurrence. "Brian, it was merely a fleeting instance of turmoil. Rex had no ill intentions." I whisper, my voice quivering with emotion, yet he is already fastening his bag, each motion precise and intentional. "Lisa, I understand that your intentions weren't to cause this, but witnessing it has left a mark that's hard to erase from my memory." The atmosphere is charged, a chill settling in, as silence weaves its intricate tapestry. "Will you return to share more tales?" I inquire softly, my voice trembling with the weight of uncertainty, the dread of what lies ahead tightening its hold on me. He lingers at the threshold, fingers resting on the knob, yet he refrains from looking back. "I'm not quite sure, Lisa. I require some moments to reflect and digest this. Perhaps we share that in common." As he steps outside, the door shuts gently behind him, enveloping me in the stillness of our home. The heaviness of his absence settling around me, I find myself seated, the towel draped around me, now resembling a veil as the weight of our circumstances begins to settle in. As time unfolds, the minutes weave into hours, and I find myself enveloped in my reflections. The garden beyond has surrendered to the night its lively essence of the day now cloaked in shadows. I reflect on our journey together, the moments we've created, the affection we've experienced. Yet what lingers in my mind is the expression on Brian's face filled with pain and a sense of being wronged. I approach the window, gazing into the darkness outside where the streetlights create elongated silhouettes. Our journey. Our dreams for California, everything seems to hang in the balance now. The journey once filled with excitement now feels like a fading memory, clouded by this unforeseen twist of fate. As I embrace myself, the coolness of the night air envelops me. The stillness of the house weighs heavily, resonating with the remnants of our dispute. The gentle splash of water and the fading roar of Brian's car as it departs, I find myself contemplating whether this marks the conclusion of our journey together. The idea looms large, akin to teetering on the brink of a great chasm, uncertain whether the next move will lead to a plunge or a daring venture into the unknown. As the night unfolds, I find myself immersed in my reflections, with the rhythmic ticking of the clock in the living room punctuating the stillness around me. I revisit the moment in my thoughts, attempting to view it through Brian's eyes, seeking to grasp his anguish, his desire for distance. It dawns on me that when trust is shattered, it becomes a challenging journey to restore it. It's akin to the fragile blooms that grace my garden. Once crushed, they may return, but they will always carry the marks of their past. The inquiry hangs in the atmosphere, thick with uncertainty and anticipation. Could this be the final chapter for us? Is there a path to mend to restore what has been broken by a fleeting storm? I recline on the bed, the towel now dry, my determination solidifying. I choose to see this as just the beginning. I will stand strong for us, for the bond we share, for the future we've envisioned together. Yet, before anything else, I must allow Brian the room he requested to process what he witnessed and what it signifies for our journey together. The night stretches endlessly, and as I settle in the bed seems vast and hollow in his absence. Yet amidst the shadows, a glimmer of hope emerges, a determination to ensure this moment does not shape our identity. We have encountered obstacles in the past, and we have emerged victorious. Perhaps, just perhaps, this could be yet another chapter in our journey, a testament to our strength and dedication to one another. As slumber envelops me, visions of California dance in my mind, filled with fresh starts with Brian and me, united alongside Rex. As time passes, the event becomes a whisper of the past, a valuable insight gained and a connection deepened. In this moment, I find myself in quiet anticipation, longing for the first light for Brian, for the truths that remain just out of reach. As I sink into the couch, the coarse fabric brushes against me, and the stillness of the house envelops everything in a heavy hush. Brian stands there, his bag ready, gazing at me with a blend of melancholy and determination. "I love you, Lisa," he murmurs, his voice soft and intimate, as if sharing a secret meant only for her ears. Yet remaining here feels impossible, especially after witnessing what I did. I require some moments to reflect. As I sit here, emotions spill over each drop, a reflection of the deep bond we've forged, the journey we've embarked on side by side. Yet at this moment, it seems as though everything is eluding my grasp, much like grains of sand caught in a tempest. I nod, sensing his desire for solitude, yet my heart feels heavy with the sorrow of his leaving. "I hear you loud and clear," I manage to utter, my voice quivering. He rises, each movement measured and intentional. As the door gently shuts, it marks a quiet end to the tumultuous events that brought him here. The sound reverberates through the silence of our dwelling, a place that once brimmed with joy and the rhythmic clanging of tools from Brian's workshop. In solitude, the quiet wraps around me like a thick blanket, each moment stretching into a tale of its own. Rex, feeling the change in the air, settles beside me, his head gently resting on my lap, his eyes typically brimming with playful energy. Now gaze at me with a profound awareness, as if he comprehends the weight of the moment that has just unfolded. The night unfolds, every tick of the clock echoing the moments slipping away, a reflection of the dreams we once shared, now suspended in doubt. In my mind, I picture Brian, the pain reflected in his gaze, the bewilderment, the sense of betrayal that enveloped him. It wasn't merely the event that unfolded, It was the trust that crumbled, leaving the very core of our bond in disarray. I revisit the moment in my thoughts, seeking to understand it through his eyes. The whimsical bath with Rex, intended as a delightful experience, transformed into an unexpected tale so bizarre and misinterpreted. I set aside the recollection, turning my attention to what lies ahead, to the chance of mending what was once broken. The garden outside, once a sanctuary of peace, now stands as a silent observer to the unraveling of our existence. The blooms and the earth have witnessed our joy, our serene dawns, and our aspirations of California. Yet now they remain quiet, as though sharing in my sorrow. I find myself pondering the path that lies ahead of me. Is there a chance that Brian will return? Is it possible to mend what has been broken by a fleeting storm? The inquiries dance around in my thoughts, each one weighing more than the previous. As the night unfolds, I find myself immersed in my reflections, with the steady ticking of the clock punctuating the stillness around me. I revisit the moment in my thoughts, attempting to view it through Brian's eyes, seeking to grasp his anguish, his desire for distance. It dawns on me that when trust is shattered, the path to repair is fraught with challenges. It's akin to the fragile blooms in my garden. Once crushed underfoot, they may find a way to rise again, yet they will always carry the marks of their past. The inquiry hangs in the atmosphere, thick with uncertainty and unanswered possibilities. Could this be the conclusion of our journey together? Is there a path to mend, to restore what has been broken by a fleeting storm? I recline on the bed, the towel now dry, my determination solidifying. I choose to believe this is just the beginning of a new chapter. I will stand strong for us, for the bond we share, for the future we've envisioned together. However, I must allow Brian the time he requested to process what he experienced and understand its implications for our relationship. The night stretches endlessly, and as I settle in, the bed seems vast and hollow in his absence. Yet amidst the shadows, a glimmer of hope emerges, a determination to ensure this moment does not shape our identity. We've encountered obstacles in the past, and we've emerged victorious each time. Perhaps this could be yet another chapter in our journey, a testament to our strength and dedication to one another, as slumber gently envelops me. Visions of California unfold, filled with fresh starts, where Brian and I share moments with Rex accompanying us on our journey. As time passes, the event becomes a whisper of the past, imparting wisdom and deepening connections. In this quiet moment, I linger, anticipating the break of day, hoping for Brian, yearning for clarity. As time drifts on, the house echoes with a profound silence in Brian's absence. I've made attempts to connect, yet he remains aloof. His replies are brief and formal. Rex and I have found our way into a new rhythm, one that no longer echoes with Brian's laughter or the familiar clatter of his tools in the garage. The stillness envelops us, a poignant echo of the void left behind, a narrative of our shared loss that lingers in the air. Once upon a time, a letter came to the doorstep. It's a message from Brian seeking to end our marriage. The language feels distant, almost sterile, a stark contrast to the closeness we used to enjoy with each stroke of the pen. I felt a piece of my soul fade away as I signed the papers. The weight of it all is overwhelming, reminiscent of the last petal drifting down from a fading bloom. Life continues its journey, yet the recollection of that day in the bathroom remains an unusual turn of events that transformed everything. Rex, with the passage of time, continues to be a source of solace, his steadfast loyalty never faltering. As I gaze upon him, it dawns on me that often the most astonishing twists in life emerge from the most unforeseen sources, altering our journeys in ways we could never have foreseen. The garden, once a sanctuary of peace, now stands as a quiet observer of our unraveling existence. The blooms in the earth have witnessed our joy, our serene dawns, and our aspirations of California. Yet now they remain quiet, as though sharing in my sorrow. As I nurture the soil, my fingers dance through the ground, searching for a hint of familiarity amidst the chaos. There are moments when Brian comes to mind, and I can't help but reflect on the pain that lingered in his gaze, the uncertainty that clouded his thoughts, and the sense of treachery that weighed heavily on his heart. It wasn't merely the event itself. It was the trust that crumbled, leaving the very core of our bond in disarray. I revisit the moment in my thoughts, seeking to understand it through his eyes. The whimsical bath with Rex, intended as a delightful experience, transformed into something utterly misunderstood, so bizarre. I've come to understand that when trust is shattered, it takes a long journey to piece it back together. It's reminiscent of the fragile blooms in my garden. Once crushed, they may return, yet they'll always carry the marks of their past. The inquiry hangs in the atmosphere, thick with uncertainty and anticipation. Could this be the final chapter for us? Is there a path to mend, to restore what has been broken by a fleeting storm? I recline on the bed, the towel now dry, my determination solidifying. I choose to believe that this is not the final chapter. I will stand strong for what we share, for the bond we cherish, for the future we've envisioned together. However, I must allow Brian the room he requested to process what he witnessed and understand its implications for our relationship. The night stretches endlessly, and as I settle in, the bed seems vast and hollow in his absence. Yet amidst the shadows, a glimmer of hope emerges, a determination to rise above this moment and shape our own narrative. We've encountered obstacles in the past, and we've emerged victorious. Perhaps this could be yet another chapter in our journey, a testament to our strength and our dedication to one another. As slumber envelops me, visions of California dance in my mind, filled with fresh starts. Brian and I united with Rex, accompanying us on our journey. As time passes, the event becomes a whisper of the past, imparting wisdom and forging connections that endure. Yet here I remain in the stillness, anticipating the break of day for Brian for clarity. The insights gained from this extraordinary occurrence are truly significant. Life unfolds in surprising ways, and often the most astonishing experiences arise from the most unforeseen sources. It becomes clear that when trust is shattered, it takes time, patience, and a deep sense of understanding to piece it back together. We discover that love, though strong, can face challenges in unexpected ways. In the depths of despair, we discover that there exists a journey towards redemption, a chance for understanding, and the promise of a fresh start. I gaze at Rex, his fur now touched with gray around the muzzle, yet his eyes still sparkle with the joy of life. He has stood by my side throughout this journey, a testament to the strength of loyalty and love, even when the world around us crumbles. As the gentle morning light filters through the curtains, a choice begins to take shape within me. I will connect with Brian again, not out of urgency, but with a gesture of harmony, of empathy, and maybe of mending our relationship. Perhaps we can't return to our former selves, but we can certainly embark on a journey ahead, whether side by side or on our own, embracing a fresh perspective on one another and the capriciousness of life. The aroma of transformation, once merely a murmur, now envelops the space, as powerful as the vapor ascending from the tub. It's a journey of transformation, a fresh start, and a bond that can endure any challenge, even those that arise from the depths of the heart. If you enjoyed the tale, be sure to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. This will assist us in crafting more captivating narratives for you.